The June 12th, 2025 meeting of the Woodbridge Township Board of Education will please come to order. Roll call, Mr. Secretary.
Ms. Anderson.
Here.
Ms. Bourdain.
Here.
Mr. Delapietro.
Here.
Ms. Perez.
Here.
Mr. Mohammed.
Here.
Mr. Treebwasser.
Here.
And Mr. Velez.
Here.
Mr. Secretary, as required by the Sunshine Law, please read the notice of meetings.
Thank you, Ms. Bourdain. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this Act, the Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted as follows: on January 21st, 2025, emailed to the Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, and the Municipal Clerk's Office, posted in Ross Street School Number 11 and the Board of Education Administration Building, also published on the school district website.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. As acting board president, I will now take nominations for the position of board president for the duration of the 2025 term. Does the board have any nominations for the office of board president?
I'd like to nominate. The role of the president of the Board of Education is incredibly important, guiding our efforts to ensure every student receives the best possible education and that our students and schools operate efficiently. Tonight, I have the honor of nominating a truly exceptional individual for this critical position, Sue Bourdain. She brings 7 years of dedicated service to our Board of Education, continuously demonstrating a deep understanding of the needs of our community. Her experience isn't just about time served, it's about a consistent record of commitment and achievement. She not only possesses a clear and compelling vision for the future of our schools, she is passionate, caring, and is dedicated to the success of our students. For these reasons, and many more, I firmly believe that Sue is the ideal candidate to guide our district with wisdom and integrity. Therefore, I proudly nominate Sue Bourdain to serve as our next Board of Education president.
Thank you, Jenny. Do I have a second?
I'm pleased to second the motion for Ms. Bourdain to be our new board president. And I look forward to your continued commitment to our students, staff, and community.
Thank you, Ms. Anderson. Any other nominations? Seeing none? It's me?
Wait. You still have to vote.
Sorry. Will someone make a motion to close the nominations?
So motion.
I have a motion to close by Jonathan Treebwasser.
Second.
Do I have a second?
Second.
It was a roll call on the nomination of Sue Bourdain as president of the Board of Education.
Seconded by Frank Delapietro. Can I have a roll call on original nominating motion?
No, so.
What do I, sorry,
so-
that's what it says.
Yeah, so at this, well, so we have nominations, so then someone would have to vote on the nomination. So you're going to ask for a roll call vote on the nomination.
Roll call, Mr. Secretary?
Ms. Anderson.
Yes.
Ms. Bourdain.
Yes.
Mr. Delapietro.
Yes.
Mr. Mohammed.
What's the nature again? Just say it
You're
one more
voting
time.
on Sue Bourdain as board president.
As president.
Yes.
Okay, so we have the nomination, we have the second.
Yep.
And now this is
This is the vote.
the actual vote. Okay,
Correct.
yes.
Oh, thank you.
Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Mr. Treebwasser.
Yes.
And Mr. Velez.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to the new board president. Me. Thank you. What says that? Thank you to my fellow board members for the nomination and the votes. I appreciate that. The nominations are now open for the position of vice president for the duration of the 2025 term. Does the board have any nominations for the office of vice president?
Madam Vice President, I nominate Jonathan Treebwasser for the position of Vice President.
Thank you, Mr. Delapietro. Do I have a second?
Madam President, I'd like to second Jonathan Treebwasser for Vice President. Jonathan's been with the board. He's our senior member now, I believe. Well qualified for the position, and I second the nomination.
Great. Thank you. Any other nominations? Seeing none, do I have a motion to close?
So
The nomin-
motion.
Motion by Ms. Anderson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Perez.
Roll call vote.
Roll call, Mr. Secretary?
Ms. Anderson.
Yes.
Ms. Bourdain.
Yes.
Mr. Delapietro.
Yes.
Mr. Mohammed.
Yes.
Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Mr. Treebwasser.
Yes.
Mr. Velez.
Yes.
Thank you.
Congratulations to the new Vice President, Mr. Tuba. I look forward to working with you, Jonathan.
As I do you.
Dr. Massimino, please introduce our student representative, April Chang from Woodbridge High School.
Thank you, Ms. Bourdain. April Chang is a senior at Woodbridge High School. She's an extremely involved member of the school community who, throughout her high school tenure, has been involved in numerous clubs and activities. In recognition of her academic accolades, April is the co-president of the Chinese Honor Society and a member of both the National Honor Society and Math Honor Society. In addition, April has participated in the Asian Pacific Islander Club and Youth Enjoy Science Club. In her spare time, April volunteers at HMH JFK Medical Center in Edison. April is currently ranked number 4 in her senior class. After high school, she plans to attend Rutgers University Honors College in New Brunswick as a computer science major. Her goal is to become a computer software engineer. April, thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you. So, at our district, we had Teacher Appreciation Week, which was celebrated in our schools May 5th to May 9th. Many of our schools celebrated Mental Health Awareness Month in May with school activities such as Wellness Week. Many of our schools hosted their spring vocal and instrumental concerts. The district hosted the annual Ernest Dubé Elementary School track meet at WHS this year on May 17th. Our Multicultural Expo was held on May 21st and May 29th. As many of our schools wrap up the school year, our students are enjoying events like NEHS induction ceremonies, kindergarten moving up ceremonies, first grade reading celebrations, fifth grade picnics, field days, and fifth grade promotion ceremonies. At school number 1, Kindness Ambassadors/Student Council presented an incredible showcase at the Multicultural Education Expo. Mobby was number 6 overall in Middlesex County and the second highest collecting elementary school in the county for Replenish. At school 4 and 5, students attended an assembly from NJ Transit about rail safety rules earlier today. At school number 9, during Relay for Life Week, students raised over $2,200 through a variety of fun events, including taping Woodbridge Police Officer Harris and PE teacher Miss Evaristo to the wall. At school 11, the track team won first place in the large school division at the Ernest Dubé track meet on Saturday, May 10th. Kindergarten through 3rd grade celebrated the end of the school year on May 20th with a live performance of Pete the Cat. At school 19, MPT will be having their annual PBSIS end-of-year celebration on June 13th with an end-of-year magical celebration for all our students. On June 16th, our PTO will be hosting a color run for our school community. At School 25, the State Police Forensic Art Unit gave presentations on May 21st to grades 2 to 5 students about careers in using art in the science of facial recognition, witness description, and suspect identification, including technologies used for age progression. Grades 4 and 5 classrooms welcomed family and community members on May 28th for our second annual Career Day. Students were exposed to a variety of occupations and trades through presenters' first-hand knowledge and experiences. The Grade 2 Oceans of Fun musical performance was held in the evening of June 4th, which provided an opportunity for students to celebrate their love for marine life. At Avenel Middle School on May 29th, 6th grade students attended a class trip to Princeton Battlefield State Park to learn about the turning point of the American Revolution. On May 30th, Eric Legrand met with the AMS 8th grade class to share his inspirational story. On June 6th, the AMS Band and Choir performed at Dorney Park. At Ford's Middle School, in the Woodbridge Science, Engineering, and Technology Symposium, students received first and second place in their respective categories. In addition, those students' projects won the e-Cyber Mission online science competition in medicine, health, and public safety. At Woodbridge Middle School, from May 5th to May 16th, the Woodbridge Middle School National Junior Honor Society hosted a Spring 2025 cereal box food drive. We collected 153 cereal boxes, which will go to We Feed Woodbridge. And finally, Woodbridge High School. On May 22nd, members of the Asian Pacific Islander Club visited Mobby Street School to engage students in a variety of activities celebrating Asian American and Pacific Islanders heritage. On May 28th, interested students attended a field trip to the Construction Industry Career Day at the NJ Convention Center. On May 28th, the Asian Pacific Islanders Club and Saffron Alliance hosted a Flavors of Asia cultural food event. On May 29th, the Diversity Council presented their How to Prepare for Life After High School Google site at the district's Multicultural Expo. On June 3rd and 5th, Tomorrow's Teachers students visited district elementary and middle school host classrooms to fulfill their Shadow for a Day requirements. And on June 4th, El Dorado hosted their annual reception to celebrate the release of this year's magazine.
Thank you, April, for your detailed report. Thank you, Mr. Osborne, for supporting your student representative tonight. You are both welcome to stay for the remainder of the board meeting. However, we will not be offended if you don't have time to.
Thank you for having me. It was an honor.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being here. And good luck. You're very accomplished. Mr. Treebwasser, would you please read the closed session statement?
Yes, Madam President. In compliance with the Sunshine Law, the board must go into closed session in order to discuss subjects exempted from public portion of our meeting. This discussion to be held in closed session will be regarding personnel matters, and the board will receive attorney-client advice. Any information regarding closed session discussion will be released to the public when the reason for discussing these matters in closed session no longer exists.
I have a motion by Mr. Treebwasser. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Perez. I have a motion by Mr. Treebwasser, seconded by Ms. Perez. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. Please rise for this salute to the flag and a moment of silence.
United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do I have a motion to reconvene?
So motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Treebwasser, second by Mr. Sedana. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. Roll call, Mr. Secretary.
Ms. Anderson,
Here.
Ms. Bourdain,
Here.
Mr. Delapetro,
Here.
Ms. Perez,
Here.
Mr. Mohammed,
Here.
Mr. Sedana,
Here.
Mr. Treebwasser,
Here.
Mr. Velez.
Here.
Will someone make a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting?
So motion.
Mr. Velez, I have a motion by Mr. Velez. Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any additions or corrections? I have a motion by Mr. Perez, I did it again. Mr. Velez, and a second by Mr. Sedana. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. Mine, okay. Mr. Secretary, please state for the record the notice of bids received by the board.
Thank you. No bids were received this time.
Dr. Massimino, please state for the record the superintendent's reports for the month of May 2025.
Thank you, Ms. Bourdain. I present to the board the following reports for the month of May 2025. Register of Statistics, report for fire drills, student suspensions, report for the elementary, student suspensions, report for the secondary, bomb threat report, and the monthly report of the attendance officers.
Thank you, Dr. Massimino. The Woodbridge Township Board of Education welcomes and encourages active, productive, and respectful participation by members of the public and seeks to protect the First Amendment rights of those who engage in the exercise of free speech at this Board of Education meeting. Members of the public are requested to express themselves in a civil manner with due respect for the dignity and privacy for those whose legal rights may be impacted. The public is now invited to speak regarding the agendas being presented this evening. When you come up to the mic, please provide your name and section of the township in which you reside, along with the specific agenda item number you wish to discuss. As per Regulation 1100D, comments must be limited to no more than 5 minutes. No responses will be given until you have completed your opportunity to speak. Anybody wishing to speak on the agenda? Seeing none? Superintendent's agenda. Dr. Massimino, do you have any recommendations?
Thank you, Madam President. I have 43 items to present to the board this evening.
Do I have a motion for the
So
super?
motion.
Second.
Okay, motion by Mr. Truebosser, second by Mr. Delapietro. Are there any comments or questions from the board? Roll call, Mr. Secretary.
Ms. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Bourdain,
I abstain on item number 1, yes to all others.
Mr. Delapietro,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
I will be abstaining from item number 39 in the name of Rutgers, yes to all other items.
Mr. Mohammed,
Madam President, I abstain on item number 39 in the name of Rutgers. Yes to all others.
Mr. Sedana,
Yes.
Mr. Treebwasser,
Yes.
Mr. Velez.
Yes.
Communication, policy, and planning. Mr. Mohammed?
Thank you, Madam President. The Communication, Policy, and Planning Committee, on recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, presents the following 13 items. I move for the adoption of the foregoing.
I have a motion by Mr. Mohammed. Do I have a second?
Second?
Second by Ms. Perez. Are there any, motion by Mr. Mohammed, second by Ms. Perez. Are there any comments or questions from the board? Roll call, Mr. Wolferman.
Ms. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Bourdain,
Yes.
Mr. Delapietro,
Yes.
Mr. Mohammed,
Yes.
Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Mr. Sedana,
Yes.
Mr. Treebwasser,
Yes.
Mr. Velez.
Yes.
Curriculum, extracurricular activities, and technology agenda. Mr. Sedana?
Thank you, Madam President. The Curriculum, Extracurricular Activities, and Technology Committee, on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools and the Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, presents the following 65 items. I move for the adoption of the foregoing.
I have a motion by Mr. Sedana. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Treebosser. I have a motion by Mr. Sedana, second by Mr. Treebosser. Are there any comments or questions from the board? Roll call, Mr. Wolferman.
Ms. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Bourdain,
Yes.
Mr. Delapietro,
Yes.
Mr. Mohammed.
Yes.
Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Mr. Sedana,
Yes.
Mr. Treebwasser.
Yes.
Mr. Velez.
Yes.
Finance and insurance. Mr. Treebosser.
Thank you, Madam President. Finance and Insurance Committee, on recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools and the Business Administrator Board Secretary, presents the following 22 items. I make a motion for the foregoing.
I have a motion by Mr. Treebosser. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Treebosser, second by Ms. Anderson. Are there any comments or questions from the board? Roll call, Mr. Wolferman.
Ms. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Bourdain,
Yes.
Mr. Delapietro,
Yes.
Mr. Mohammed,
Madam President, I abstain on item number 1 in my name. Yes to all other items.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Sedana,
Yes.
Mr. Treebwasser.
Yes.
Mr. Velez.
Yes.
Buildings and grounds. Ms. Perez?
Thank you, Madam President. The Buildings and Grounds Committee, on recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools and the Business Administrator Board Secretary, present the following 8 items. I move for the adoption of the foregoing.
I have a motion by Ms. Perez. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Perez, second by Mr. Delapietro. Are there any comments or questions from the board? Roll call, Mr. Wolferman.
Ms. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Bourdain.
Yes.
Mr. Delapietro,
Yes.
Mr. Mohammed.
Yes.
Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Mr. Sedana,
Yes.
Mr. Treebwasser.
Yes.
Mr. Velez.
Yes.
Dining and transportation. Ms. Perez?
Thank you, Madam President. The Dining and Transportation Committee, on recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools and the Business Administrator Board Secretary, present the following 30 items. I move for the adoption of the foregoing.
I have a motion by Ms. Perez. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Perez, second by Mr. Velez. Are there any comments or questions from the board? Roll call, Mr. Wolferman.
Ms. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Bourdain.
Yes.
Mr. Delapietro.
Yes.
Mr. Mohammed.
Yes.
Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Mr. Sedana,
Yes.
Mr. Treebwasser.
Yes.
Mr. Velez.
Yes.
Equity Commission, Ms. Anderson.
Thank you, Madam President. The Equity Commission Committee, on recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, presents the following recommendations. I move for the adoption of the foregoing 2 items.
I have a motion by Ms. Anderson. Do I have a second?
Second?
I have a motion by Ms. Anderson, second by Ms. Perez. Are there any comments or questions from the board? Seeing none, roll call, Mr. Wolferman.
Ms. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Bourdain,
Yes.
Mr. Delapietro,
Yes.
Mr. Mohammed.
Yes.
Ms. Perez.
Yes.
Mr. Sedana,
Yes.
Mr. Treebwasser.
Yes.
Mr. Velez.
Yes.
Negotiations agenda, Mr. Velez.
Thank you, Madam President. The Board of Education Negotiation Committee present the following recommendation. I move for the adoption of the foregoing.
I have a motion by Mr. Velez. Do I have a second?
Second?
Motion by Mr. Velez, second by Mr. Sedana. Any comments or questions from the board? Seeing none, roll call, Mr. Wolferman?
Ms. Anderson?
Yes.
Ms. Bourdain?
Yes.
Mr. Delapietro?
Yes.
Mr. Mohammed?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Sedana?
Yes.
Mr. Treebwasser?
Yes.
Mr. Velez?
Yes.
Personnel agenda, Mr. Delapietro.
Thank you, Madam President. The Personnel Committee, on recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools and the Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources, presents the following 37 items. I move for the adoption of foregoing.
I have a motion by Mr. Delapietro. Do I have a second?
Second?
I have a motion by Mr. Delapietro, second by Ms. Perez. Are there any comments or questions from the board? Roll call, Mr. Wolferman?
Ms. Anderson?
On item number 36, I will be abstaining on the name Naya Anderson. Yes on all other items.
Ms. Bourdain?
Yes.
Mr. Delapietro?
Yes.
Mr. Mohammed?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Sedana?
Yes.
Mr. Treebwasser?
On item 5, I will abstain in the name of Leah Henderson, and on item 37, I will abstain in the name of Michael Henderson. Yes on all other items.
Mr. Velez?
Yes.
Is there any old business that should be brought to the attention of the board?
Yes, Madam President. I will be resigning my seat on the Woodbridge Township Board of Education, effective at the end of this board meeting. I decided I will not be running for re-election in November, and I feel my June departure will allow for a smooth transition for new incoming board members to become better acclimated for the start of the September school year. It was an honor to serve on this board for the past 9.5 years. I would like to thank the voters of the township, school district, my fellow board members, faculty, staff, and the administrators for allowing me to serve and for all their support. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Mr. Bush?
Yeah, I don't know if you want to add anything before I go into the official business.
I do.
Okay.
I'm sad. Joe, it's been an honor and a pleasure to work with you. As board president, you were amazing. You always took my phone call. You still do, and you still will. I appreciate all that you've done for this board and for this township, not just in this role, but in your regular job role. So thank you for everything, and I won't belabor this, but
Thank you for your kind comments. Thank you.
Yeah, why don't you have to do it first?
Yeah.
Why don't you call him special?
So we have a special member in our audience this evening. There's a few special members. I shouldn't point anybody out specifically, but Dan Harris is here with us tonight. It is his first meeting as a Woodbridge Township councilman, as he has resigned his position on the board. So Dan, would you like to come up and speak to us?
Just at the end. Yeah, I will. Start by that. By your vote.
It's a different position here. Thank you for being here. For the record, Dan Harris, Colonia. I think I have to say that. Yeah, thank you, Madam President, and to the board. I never had a chance to say goodbye publicly. Not that any of this comes as much of a surprise. It was an absolute honor working with you all. Same to the administration. I enjoyed my 12 years on the board, working to improve our district. You all received my letter of resignation, highlighting what I thought were our accomplishments over these past 12 years, and they're a collective effort that we achieved as a board, as an administration, our workforce, and our 103,000 residents. Really, to sum them up, I think of our two successful bond referendums, putting in over $130 million into our schools. Many of our schools were built in the 50s and 60s, and it was, much of that work was overdue, and we got that done together with the support of the voters, the support of the mayor and town council supporting us with pilot revenue. Many of those projects are just about done, with School 4 and 5 as being the last and final piece of those referendums there. And of course, we can't forget the dozens and dozens of shared service agreements that myself, now as a councilman, mayor, and you all continue to maintain to save money for our shared constituents. In addition to that, many other accomplishments that I felt I played a small role in, and we all made happen. My good fellow board member, part of the alumni group now, Ezio Tamburello, we were here along with some of you when we implemented full-day kindergarten. I mean, that was a major accomplishment. Again, that was became accomplished as a result of the referendum. When I started here on the board, one of the big issues was that some of the classrooms were still un-air conditioned. Today, 100% of our classrooms are air conditioned. Credit to this board and our administration for making that happen. Right ahead of the pandemic, we were building towards a one-to-one Chromebook initiative. And when the pandemic hit, we were more prepared than others. And of course, we found our way through that like every other school district in this country. And then you can't forget the safety enhancements. I know we got the guys in the back here. That's just one piece of the, I don't know, countless things that we did to make our workforce and our students safer before, during, and after school. Credit to this board, and something I'm honored to be a part of. And then, I think of our friends over here in the audience, numerous friends in the audience here. I think of the labor piece that we've had in this district. As a consummate follower of government, someone who works in government, labor peace is not always a given, and you see other school districts where their union and their administration or their board are constantly at each other. We've never had that in my time here, and that's a credit to this administration, this board, and our partners, who represent our 2,200 employees. So that keeps the wheels turning and progress, and our buildings happy in a place that our workforce wants to be. And then undoubtedly that rubs off on our students. It's a place that their teachers and their staff members want to be at each and every day. I had referenced the audience. We also have members of the public here. You go to some other towns, there's constant fighting and hours long meetings fighting over things. That's not what we have here in the Woodbridge School District, because we have a superintendent who is responsive to the community when there's issues, and we get ahead of things as elected officials in addressing those things, either proactively or reactively when those things happen. Ezio, I popped in my head now. We always used to joke that every year there was something a board president faced in terms of a crisis or something of that nature. Sue, I certainly hope that doesn't happen to you when we break the streak.
I'm not nervous at all.
I think of Frank, you were our president during COVID, and you got us through that. We had some far lesser controversies, but I think of those past presidents, John, Joe, you went through that as well. Marie, we all got ourselves through that. And then, finally, just sort of thanking the employees for always being warm and embracing to myself as a board member, my family, and then us as fellow board members and elected officials, being welcomed into the schools, sharing their ideas, and showing that dedication. It was probably the best part of being a board member was those good experiences with our faculty and staff, because you saw the passion that they brought to school, and of course that all culminates with graduation. You could see the kids really appreciated their time, and they feel special to be a Woodbridge Township School graduate. And then finally, to wrapping it up, my 5 minutes might be up here. Just make sure the timer's going here. I want to thank my fellow board members. It was an absolute honor to run with you, to serve with you, to fight with you, and I hope that fight continues in you. You can keep fighting for our 14,000 students. And a special shout out to my good buddy, Joe Velez. Joe, I didn't realize 9 years. That flew by. It was a pleasure to serve with you. You were a great asset. I think of you like Frank. Frank's the firefighter, you're the police officer. You provided that level of incident management and law enforcement and security background. So you're a real asset to the board. You'll certainly be missed. And whomever replaces myself and yourself, hopefully they bring the same level of dedication that we brought. And then finally, to the administration, can't leave you guys out. It was a pleasure working with you. Dr. Mass, you and I had some spirited conversations, still may. When I came on the town council, the mayor says, Dan, you're still going to be the liaison to the board, to the district. I said, absolutely, that'll be top of the list. I'm sure Dr. Massimino will love to have me. I'll get a seat at the end of the table here. But to Mr. Wolferman and Dr. Giancarelli, Mr. Ali, Mr. Pastorino, and Ms. Bear in abstention, Mr. Bush as well, Ken and Jess, it was... thank you for everything you did for me, answering questions and, providing me with different information that helped me do my work. And I hope you continue to be those great public servants, and wish you all a wonderful summer recess. So thank you very much, Ms. Bourdain. Good luck. Thank you.
I appreciate the shout out.
You need to move?
Yeah.
Because once you have them all, both of you. You can open it. Once you do it over there. Go over by
Okay. Can open both of them, and they're both wrapped in plastic.
That's all. It's coming up here again.
Okay. So as a thank you, and you've always, here, I can put that up. As a thank you, and you've always done this for the resignation.
Thank you.
We appreciate your,
Yeah, thank you very much.
I have big shoes to fill. I appreciate your time here. I appreciate you being the liaison. I appreciate not losing, my number. I won't lose your number.
Of course.
And I know you're going to do wonderful things on the town council. I know this is a step in the direction for you.
Yeah.
I know I had trouble accepting it, but much like Joe, trouble
Remember, it's a lateral
accepting it.
step, not a step up.
Well, we'll see.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so
very
much.
Thanks, guys.
On behalf of the board,
Thank you. Thank you very much. That will be so. Good luck, guys. Thanks, guys. Thanks, John. See you around the neighborhood.
Yes, you will.
I know you didn't want any fanfare or anything, but we would be remiss if we didn't, I don't know, has it happened where we have sort of two resignations in the same night? I feel like it's me, but it's not. So Joe, thank you very much for your years of dedicated service. We definitely appreciate you. Again, I'm sad to
Thank you very much.
not sit up here with you any longer, but we will always be connected. Did it? No. Oh, yeah.
The official stuff.
Yes. Wait till Joseph's back now. Mr. Bush, do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, I appreciate it, Madam President. I wanted to just, before I said, I mean, these guys have both been a big part of my role here, and I just recall that when the Bush Law Group was created in August of 2014, we had all IKEA furniture in a two-room office above Haley's Harp and Pub above, downtown Metuchen, and one of the people to help move some of our furniture at the time was Dan Harris, so I certainly appreciate it. And Joe, you've been on the board most of my time as your board attorney as well, and all this work together, and you've done so much, and don't tell the other clients, but you're up there with my favorite. You're certainly an OG for the Bush Law Group. But in terms of my legal responsibility now, under your bylaws, I have to formally announce that there are 2 vacancies on the Board of Education. The board is obligated now within 65 days of the vacancies to pursue a replacement. And the process has already been delineated, one, because Mr. Harris resigned a couple of weeks ago upon taking his council seat. And then a couple of weeks ago, we also received the anticipated resignation, which is effective, I guess, at the end of the meeting tonight for Mr. Velez. So that makes for 2 seats. But because we knew that both seats were going to be vacant at the same time, the board secretary's office or the business administrator board secretary's office was able to advertise for 2 vacancies, and there'll be a special meeting. This has been advertised for anybody interested in applying for the positions. This will be there'll be a meeting next week. What day?
Tuesday the 17th.
Tuesday the 17th will be a board meeting, a special board meeting, the sole purpose of which is to find 2 replacements. It's obviously incredibly rare to be able to fill 2 roles on the board at once. It's rare to have 1, let alone 2, but it's good that if you're going to do 2 in the same year, that they're happening together,
so that people can apply, and then you have the opportunity to choose your top two, if you will, and then those people will serve, until I guess whatever the terms are, and we'll figure out all that. But it's a significant responsibility for this board to be able to choose that. But there is a requirement in the bylaw that we announce the vacancies formally, and I'm doing so right now. So consider this the formal announcement of 2 vacancies on this Board of Education that will be filled next week.
Thank you, Mr. Bush. Is there any new business that should be?
One moment, please.
Oh, sorry.
We voted on the personnel agenda, I said it was item 37 that I was abstaining, and the name Michael Henderson was 36. I just want to make sure that.
Thank you, Mr. Truesdale. Is there any new business that should be brought to the attention of the board? Seems like we covered a lot. We will now open the meeting for public comment. If you wish to say something, please come to the microphone and provide your name and the section of the township in which you reside for the record. Again, members of the public are requested to express themselves in a civil manner with due respect for the dignity and privacy of those whose legal rights may be impacted. Please limit your comments to no more than 5 minutes in accordance with Regulation 1100D. No response will be given until you have fully completed all of your comments, so as not to interrupt your 5-minute opportunity to speak.
Brian Jeffrey, President WTEA. I just want to take a minute to congratulate Mr. Velez and Mr. Harris and thank you for your dedication and service to the school district. My philosophy as the president of the WTEA is that advocacy does not have to be adversarial. And that only works when there's a willingness on the other side to have meaningful discussion, debate, and work for common resolution. And I cannot thank you guys enough during your time. You're always willing to have those discussions, to work with us and not against us. And we truly appreciate what you've done for the staff and students of this school district. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jeffrey.
Hello, my name's Judy Trobliger. I reside in Fords. I've been a substitute for about 6 years now in this district. And one thing that I have come across many times, especially in the middle school, is in the special ed class. The students are quite often saddened by the fact that it's called special ed, and I understand why it's called that. But I was wondering if there's a way, just in the school itself, be called something else. They often tell me that they get bullied or called the R word. They have told me that they're stupid. And I asked them, do you really think you're stupid? And many students from the different grades, they said, why else are we put in here? And that breaks my heart. They go to school every day already thinking they lost, just because of the label from that class. And they're there for a reason. They need extra help. But I don't think they understand they're getting there. They're there for special help. They really think that they're kind of tossed in there. I was just wondering if somehow, or maybe part of orientation, that it could be explained why they're there. I don't know if that would really make a difference, but maybe just something so they feel like they're heard and not just, oh, we don't want to deal with you in the general population, so you're put in there. It's very upsetting when I go to these classes and I ask them, well, what do your parents say? And I wrote down, these are, like I said, a combination of the different grades and the different classes. They say, well, I don't really talk to my parents. They're teenagers, I get that. My parents don't want to listen. And they also say, sometimes my parents tell me, just do the work. So your family should be your main support, and they don't even get it there. So again, it breaks my heart to hear this. One student actually said, and this is no fault of anyone, but seeing a child sad It's sad to me. She said, even my teacher writes special ed on the board when the teacher writes the assignment. And I said, well, that's an easy thing. Why don't you just ask the teacher not to? I was surprised by the answer. A lot of the kids in that class all at once, it's almost like it was rehearsed, like, oh no, we don't want to get in trouble. They're afraid to speak up. Such a simple request. They're afraid to speak up. Again, I don't know what can be done. I just want the kids to feel heard. I want them to know someone is on their side. I'm only a substitute. I'm only there once in a while. But I just want to be able to help them. They shouldn't go into school every day being bullied, they're teased, being called the R word. Oh my goodness, that's despicable. I know it's going to be obvious to the regular general population what class you're going into. I get that. But there's got to be something. I can't believe that this is it. I cannot believe that these kids are just stuck there, labeled as that, and then their confidence is shot. We got to give them a fighting chance. These kids are not stupid kids, and they are already, a lot of them just give up. When I'm in class with them, I tell them, you could do this. I've said, there are kids in the regular class who grades are lower. I know that for a fact because I talk to the other kids too. So I was like, please don't think that you're stupid. It has nothing to do with stupid. Everyone learns at a different level. It has nothing to do with that. Some people just need a little bit more help. That's all it is. But to them, adult logic doesn't mean anything when you're getting bullied. So I just want to present that to you and hope maybe there's something the teachers can do, the school can do. I don't expect the whole district to change the name special ed, but if that's something just to be put in the back of your mind, that would be so wonderful, these wonderful children. Thank you. And one more thing. My son is a freshman at Woodbridge. I want to thank you how quickly you got those metal detectors in. Such a sad thing to be done, but thank you very much. I didn't sleep that night. I sleep now. So I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for your kind comments and for the kind way that you treat our children.
They're lovely. They're absolutely lovely kids.
Dr. Maspino?
Yeah, so a couple things. One, before you leave, please give your name to Jess here. There's a deeper conversation I'd like to have with you.
Sure.
We have a lot of resources in this district. Ms. Baer's not here tonight, but obviously she's our Director of Special Services. But Mr. Ali with student access and engagement and our Supervisor of Counseling, I believe in a myriad, a layered approach of supports. So if you're comfortable with it, I would appreciate if you could leave your information
Absolutely.
with Ms. Oberberger, because there's a deeper conversation I'd like to have, and I would like to have it with you, not in the guise of I gotcha or punitive, or that's not the goal here. The goal here is to talk about the areas that you've mentioned, and for me to get a little bit more information so that I can I always say direct the traffic. That is of all the things that I would say people talk about the superintendent's office, one of the main things is trying to figure out the right avenue for things to go down. And I don't think there's one avenue for this. I think there's a multitude of resources that could be deployed. I will tell you, please don't ever say you're only a substitute, because I don't believe in minimizing anybody who's ever in front of our children. I have children in this district. I have family in this district. And I would never qualify only. If they feel confident enough and safe enough and secure enough to convey some of their innermost feelings with you, I would say we can remove that only. When you're in our school, you're an educator. So please don't ever diminish the role you play. That is how we move things. When I say it takes a village, I mean it takes everybody in the village. So there is no only, there is no level. It's all of us. And I do believe that's when we are our best version of ourselves. So if you don't mind leaving your contact information.
Absolutely.
I will reach out to you next week. I'm out of the office tomorrow, but we do have the end of the year coming up and then the summer. I don't know what it looks like, but I'd be more than happy to have you come in so we could sit down, have a discussion. I can get a better idea of what kind of game plan we need to draft, what kind of resources we need to deploy, and take a look at how we can address this so that that's not a concern.
That'd be lovely. Thank you.
Thank you for your
time.
comments. Thank you, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Pearl Shaw, and I'm the Vice President of National Programs for JFK's FCCLA chapter.
My name is Liam Chang. I am the Vice President of Membership for the FCCLA State Executive Council of New Jersey, and we are here to advocate for our project, Better Food, Brighter Futures.
So as of recent times, obesity amongst youth, in this case children between the ages of 6 to 18, has increased exponentially within the U.S., and it's understood that obesity occurs for a variety of reasons, some in our control, others not so much. But the reason we're up here today is because I ask you all to help combat and prevent the spread of childhood obesity in our community by implementing higher quality nutritional education programs which preach the importance of things such as balanced diet, I'm kind of sick right now, including all of the food groups, a focal point on vitamins and minerals and what they do for the human body, how to properly prepare meals for yourself, as well as fostering the ability to understand and apply nutritional education to make better food choices. I know this sounds like a lot, but I think that the effect it can have on our community is substantial.
When thinking back to health classes as a little kid, around elementary age, I can recall learning about basic food groups. However, as children, it didn't really matter. Our meals were prepared for us and decided. Our parents packed our lunch, and if a healthy, balanced diet wasn't already provided to us, we didn't really have the choice of that diet. It also didn't really matter because we weren't incredibly engaged with the components of eating well. The concepts of indulging in sweet treats and maintaining an overall healthy diet and vitamin value was something we didn't really care too much about or understand as kids. However, as my peers and I get older, we take on more responsibilities, not only for ourselves, but for the health of others. I know many of my friends who not only cook for themselves, but cook for their families, prepare food for siblings, and are in charge of the nutrition of their household. When it comes to our responsibility to fuel our own bodies, we feel that this is when learning about a proper balanced diet is most important. And in our experience, at the high school level, we haven't had much about a balanced diet.
So what do we mean when we say that we want a higher quality nutritional education program? Because that's a pretty broad topic. Ideally, we would want a program to be mandated and similar to financial literacy or math. However, we understand that creating an entire specialized mandated course is just not feasible. Instead, we suggest that nutrition receive a little more emphasis during already required health classes. I understand that the diet and nutrition is included in health classes, but to be frank, sometimes it's kind of just brushed over and neglected in comparison to topics such as mental health or drug abuse. What we are asking for is more in-depth coverage of the topic, ideally vitamins and minerals, what vitamins such as A, B6, B12, C, D, E, and K do for the body, the purpose of minerals such as iron, calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, sodium, and potassium. Many students, if asked right now, would not be able to tell you what any of these vitamins or minerals do for their body, which is a little concerning because this keeps us alive. So, the program ideally would also go over how to properly interpret and consume calories, because there's a lot of misconceptions about that, and I think that is a big problem in contributing to disordered eating, especially people who don't properly understand calories and think that as long as they're under a certain threshold, they're fine. It could teach children how to properly analyze menus and other foods, because sometimes we pick healthy options that are not really healthy. I know I go to a restaurant and I'm like, oh, I'm going to get a salad and be super healthy. And the salad has upward of 1,700 calories. How healthy am I really being? So that's what we would advocate for. And these nutritionally, advocating for them to have nutritionally beneficial alternatives to them as well. And by kind of exposing them to the consequences of having a poor diet, such as obesity and the threats that come with it, we drive awareness about the understanding and the importance of food.
The health of our future depends on how the youth of today are raised and taught. Habits are hard to get out of, so through better education and topic of bodily nutrition and healthy eating, we can instill healthy eating habits that will help students in their adult lives. We are on our own have decided to implement a trial of our own for after-school lessons on nutrition and plan to carry them out into the upcoming year if received well. This Friday, we do plan on having our first of the after-school nutritional lessons, and we hope it does go well. We will include topics such as vitamins and minerals, as well as how to properly identify what is healthy on a menu, and live cooking opportunities to discuss how to properly prepare and teach people how to properly prepare foods for themselves.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate all of your information. I don't know,
Yeah, so, thank you, Madam President. Appreciate your insight. It's something that I feel very strongly about as well. I don't disagree with you. I'm one of a handful of superintendents on the East Coast Regional Council for the American Heart Association, and it's something that we talk about. You know, I talk about it monthly with colleagues on the Eastern Seaboard, quarterly with superintendents all around the nation. So it's certainly an avenue for Mr. Pastorino and I to take a look at the curriculum, see where the gaps are. I think you made some really smart acknowledgments in the sense of what it is to find the time for a mandate or kind of tweak what we already do to make sure we can reconfigure that and dedicate the appropriate time and maybe create some more dynamic lessons that support exactly what you're talking about. So do appreciate you coming tonight. It certainly is an opportunity for Mr. Pastorino and I, and obviously some other stakeholders throughout the district, to start that dialogue. Summer's around the corner, so it is does give us a little more time to meet and have that discussion. And we really do appreciate your input and the great work you're doing, and good luck to you this Friday.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
thank you. I definitely appreciate student input. Anybody else? Seeing none? The chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Treebwasser and a second by Mr. Delapietro. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried.